How many souls were sacrificed to create a bloodstone this powerful?
We can honor those lost by destroying this perversion of their lives.
Given those demons the old 1-2 right in their void rift, and not a moment too soon. Our shelter plane is saved, dear hunter, quite saved, and we have only you to thank. Excellent practice for your wrenching of all existence from the void's grasp, don't you think? Yes, Source Hunter, I'm feeling quite optimistic myself.
Within me! Onslaught from afar! Just watch! Putrid mist! Shadows!
It's so beautiful.
alien aspect approaches. Go on, my boy. State the ancient demand.
Toll troll.
Well nigh correct, my son, but not quite.
Troll.
You come very close in your approximation of the venerable bid, my boy, but a tiny flaw distorts it still.
Troll.
Capital, my son. Most excellent. I'm very proud of you indeed. Now then, dearest wanderer of Lucula's leaf-strewn lanes, you have heard our inviolable command. Pay us, trolls, the toll that is our prerogative, and the bridge shall be yours to cross. I am Bridgekeeper Archibald, and this sweet cherub is my dear son, Amadeus. I'm in charge of his education, and will see to it that one day he shall become the greatest bridgekeeper ever to have voiced the hallowed tenet. Troll toll, yes, so he shall. So he shall indeed. Ask them, and I shall answer. Those clubbed unfortunates over yonder, they did not pay the toll, traveler. And to be clubbed, I'm afraid, is the fate that indubitably befalls those who do not heed the infrangible doctrine that is troll toll. The king is dead? You have slain him? But that means I am now the king of all trolls. You have given me the throne, human. With gold and gifts, I thank thee. Now, pardon us. We'll be on our way to greener, or perhaps more golden pastures. Because that is the tradition, and we trolls are very earnest about tradition. Toll must be paid, for to do so is to pay respect to trolls themselves. The bridge is yours. Now, do be gallant, Amadeus, and bid our friend good day.
Have a nice day, sir.
Beware of the lost ones out there, Wanderer. Their blood is impure.
So good of you to drop by, my liege. As always, be welcome.
Heard any good tales, my friend?
Jared, he lost his way. Or perhaps he never found it.
He was dear to me, Source Hunter. but fondness cannot taint what is right. I will remember Jarrett as I loved him best, by the fire, singing the songs of our people. We were together then, in a way these recent mistakes cannot taint. I am on the trail, Source Hunter. To the homestead, then.
You call to Ulgraf. He awaits your queries. A wide smile showing all teeth and gums lightens the rogue's face as he gathers his belongings and prepares to join you once more. He's as ready as ever.
May the goddess guide you through the forest and keep you safe.
under the distinctive underside of a bridge aroma.
Better that than drinking a bit of blood.
Quite a fine skeleton beneath that hide of yours, isn't there?
Praise the goddess! I'll pass the trial!
Friend, this is most excellent news. Welcome to the Immaculate Fold.
Yes! I can feel the goddess's finger coursing through my very veins!
My, I see.
Oh, so good of you to drop by, my liege. As always, be welcome.
By the looks of things, it seems we're heading towards Hunter's Edge, the town where I was stationed before I met you lot. Before we get there, you should know the whole yarn. What I saw there, why I fled. Yes, comrade, I fled a coward bearing the insignia of a sauce hunter. I think so, comrade. Even though you might never look at me the same way, I hope I won't lose you as compatriots. We, the villagers and myself, were corralled in the town square. the orcish queen sauntered into the middle, proud of the chaos she'd created. She screamed if we knew why they had come. Slowly, she approached me and leaned close, her hot, foul breath like fire on my face. With one hand, she clasped my throat. With the other, she reached into my pocket and pulled out the gem I'd taken from the orcs I'd killed earlier that day. I was a thief, she said. I'd taken something dear to her, and I had earned punishment. I thought she'd destroy me right then and there, but she did something worse. That's right, comrade, and I was soon to find out why. She brought forth one of her soldiers, a larger orc I'd never seen, and he was covered in black, gleaming armor. She placed the stone in his chest plate, and something happened. He transformed into something I'll never forget. She made me watch as she sent villager after villager before the great transformed beast. He crushed them all, one by one, each more gruesomely than the last. He seemed to revel in the work. I could do nothing, comrade. I couldn't save them. I couldn't help them. I could only watch. Don't you see it's already over? Don't you see it's too late? These orcs weren't out for riches or land. They only came for blood. No. All that's left in Hunter's Edge is a debt to be paid, comrade. And I intend to collect it.
Southeast to Hunter's Edge. North to incomparable suffering. Well then.
Southeast it is. For now, at least.
Say it once more. Troll toll. 4,000 gold. Can't you count, you bloody walrus? 3 guards, 3 heads of slaves. You make count, pay toll too. You fancy little titles? Hold on now. One whelp at a time. You'll pay your toll soon as I'm through knocking this loudmouth back in line. The fool thinks he can slick 6 warm bodies past Rumble for the price of 1, he does. Lousy bum, may as well thieve from King Gungia's very coffers. If I've said it once, I've said it more times than a troll can count. Warm bodies do not people make. We are 3 Immaculates and 3 slaves, and I won't empty my pocket over chattel.
Calmer heads ought to prevail here. Let's simply pay the toll for all concerned and move on.
We can spare the gold after all. Better to end this conflict before it escalates.
Oh, the gentle tinkling of gold! Intoxicating! Do pass, Goldbearer, and tell your fool of a friend he may do the same. No wonder you came to my aid. I see you have an immaculate amulet, the very same as mine. The goddess does bless us with good friends and good fortune during our times of need. Hide to the village ahead and rest yourself among your kin, but do take care. Only those in possession of our holy amulets may enter, and the guards are a savage sort. They won't hesitate to gut you if they suspect you aren't one of us.
Go on, march!
Jingle, jingle, precious gold. Play the blubber from this fool. I think I'll make a candle from his second chin.
Come, spin your web for me.
7 grand abundance!
The hen who shares her feed receives a greater second helping.
Innocent dugongs, you nearly startled me out.
It never rains, but it pours, eh?
Wargraf spotted a trap. Wargraf spotted a trap.
Oh there. A word of warning, Wanderer, afore you continue on your merry way. See these corpses here? Be a good fellow and take them as a hint that this town isn't the pastoral little paradise it once was. Immaculates, orcs and humans both, have taken Hunter's Edge. Its villagers are now slaves in the mines to the west, or they've been bled dry of their last drop of life, reduced to mere fuel that must light the wicked candle that is bloodstone. Long as you live in the limbo between coming and going, though, why not have a look at what I have to sell? You'd be surprised to see what a scouring skeleton can gather together in a dying town. Yeah! Well, don't go round angering Immaculates if you want to keep your vitals intact. Though perhaps it won't be very long before they have a stab at one another's vitals instead. I have the feeling there's trouble brewing between the orcs and the humans in there, and who can blame 'em really? Just ain't natural for 'em to consort, I say. Only good orc... Well, you know how the phrase goes. Can't say I remember who I was before the change came over me, but these days I'm a travelling trader of sorts. There's an immaculate necromancer in the village ahead. She's the one who brought me back from, well, wherever I was. She's an especially bright one, you know. Most necromancers can only revive a dead corpse into an animated one, but she manages to yank back some semblance of consciousness too. I don't remember much, but the thrill of trade certainly calls to me. Maybe I was a merchant in my former life, who knows? These days, most undead are busy haunting Syceal or picking away in the Lucula mines. But I keep a low profile and stay out of sight. Haven't been bothered by an Immaculate yet, and I hope to keep it that way. Burnt, ruptured, trampled.
I'm warm as
To
fresh
think I could have made a
apple pie.
fortune selling all of these to a whimsical taxidermist.
I feel like I've just had a long bath in a cold lake.
I hope your quest fares well, dear hunter. She knows of the wizard Zandalor and the fabled Temple of the Source. She wants to get in. It is part of her purpose. Ikara is key, hunter. She knows Zandalor. We must find him before Leandra does. I'm watching on with weary eyes how the Immaculates strike again. They've gone from shedding blood among their own to recruiting orcs and cutthroats to do it for them. From what I can tell, the village of Hunter's Edge is this cult's most wretched victim. It was once a quiet sort of village. Families and small-time merchants mostly. Recently, it was targeted by a tribe of orcs waving the Immaculate banner. Their leader, Grutilda, is known far and wide for her cruelty and cunning. She oversaw the murder of countless villagers and used their blood to fuel a great number of bloodstones. Once they were dead, they were reanimated as undead corpses and sent to work in the mines of Lucula. By order of Leandra, the orcs were joined by a tribe of humans from the northern peaks of Tanneroth. A band of male warriors are they, and they devote allegiance to their leader, Jarl. Jarl arrived with his own formidable supply of bloodstones, which means his tribe has been operating under directions from the conduit for some time. Where once they ransacked for base pleasure and material gain, now they do it by the will of the goddess. These are far from the blindly devoted Immaculates of Silverglen, however. The orcs and the humans here alternate between bitter fighting and hostile peace. Personally, I believe they're best exploited through their rivalry. Get them to fight each other, and you can stand on the sidelines and warm yourself upon the flames. He has a residence at the far end of town, though I have my doubts he's having people over for tea now that the Immaculates have landed. Know that Zandalore is wily, so beware. If a wizard doesn't want you in his home, you'll know it. Pity the intruder that heedlessly tries to waltz his way into that dwelling. Nevertheless, his house is the very place you'll want to search. The accumulated knowledge stored there is quite phenomenal, and beyond a doubt, one of Leandra's most urgent pursuits.
Hey, you! Come on, time's a wasting. You can speak. You don't look like a tribesman or orc, but I suppose I can't be certain. Then again, I've never heard of a dark soul gifted with the speech of the wild. Jinxika is my name, and until recently I lived a placid sort of life among the people of Hunter's Edge. The baker might leave me a bit of milk left over from this breakfast. The barkeep stroked my back between filling glasses. I had many friends here, but none so dear as a little trio. A married pair and their daughter, employed by the wizard to keep his home. They spent many long hours squashing fleas that plagued me and shared their warm beds with me each night. If you come to this village to help and not to harm, you might be able to save those 3 kind souls from the orcs that have invaded. Ugh, such misery in our sad town. A kind but private man he is. He set up his home here several years ago, but never remained there long enough before jetting off to tend to some matter or other. The dark invaders seem very interested in him indeed. They've been skulking around outside the house since they arrived, but not even one of their filthy vermin can penetrate the wizard's protective enchantments. Would that an invasion were all! They destroyed every crumb of life they could find and sent their filthy rats to seek out those who evaded them. Each life they took infused their strange stones with power. Their queen glowed with delight as a parade of victims were slain before her. It was as though she was taking in a beautiful song. The human tribe came shortly after. They had their own supply of the glowing stones, and the orc queen took no easy liking to them. Still, it seems they are working towards some similar goal. They haven't destroyed one another. Yet. They've survived this carnage so far by concealing themselves most cleverly. I've done my best to guard their hiding place from the slime-bellied rats attempting to sniff them out. But I fear my efforts aren't enough. Until the village has been rid of vermin, those 3 sweet souls may be found at any time. Savages by savages employed. The orcs have one among them. The rat catcher, they call him, who claims to have trained rats to do his bidding. They've swarmed the place in search of hidden villagers, and unless every last one of them is split from tail to snout, they're sure to find my friends. But you're not like the brutes inside those walls. No, you approached me with hand, not boot, outstretched. Perhaps you could help me. With these rats running about, it's only a matter of time before my friends are caught. They must be squashed, every last one of them. I've done my best so far, but there are simply too many for one set of claws to handle. With your help, though, with your help, it could be done. The rats gone, my friends safe. Oh, that bothersome old Tom. No, he and I are hardly friendly, much less friends. I've much more important things on my mind than him and his incessant pestering. I can slip through these walls as I please. But you'll need to find your own way into the village. And remember, my friend, kill every last rat you find, or 3 dear souls will be lost.
Ruptured, trampled. I think I could have made a fortune selling all these for a winsome taxidermist.
It never rains, but it pours, eh? Oh, I'm tripping. Feeling hot under the collar.
You there, Flatlander. Stay at your business. Come to play now the town's been taken, have you? Typical of you Flatlanders. Lucky for you, the goddess don't discriminate against cowards. Well, come quickly then. There's still townsfolk on the loose, and the chase has probably made them wild as cornered dogs. One might pop out of a bush and take an eye before you can shout your own name. Better you first check in with the higher-ups. You've got Jarl, the righteous leader of Weir the Mountain, and blood-stained Gratilda, queen dog of the giant toads. Trust me, you'll know her when you see her. Now scram, and make your introductions before word gets to them there's an intruder here.
Go on then, Rockskin. We'll see who'll end up beneath those boots.
I feel like I've just had a long bath in a cold lake. Comrade, did you hear that? It sounds like these Immaculates are at odds with the local orc savages. We may be able to turn this to our advantage. I'll keep a sharp eye out for anything we could use to nudge these factions closer to chaos. If we can get them to destroy each other, we'll kill 2 birds without even having to pick up a stone. Nothing would please me more than seeing Hunter's Edge cleared of the scum that destroyed it. I may not be able to undo the past, but together we can dole out justice for those who've suffered.
That other tusk's yours to keep in the meantime.
Blasted mosquitoes. Never a moment's peace with these filthy vermin buzzing in me. Oh, ho, ho. Brother, I've crossed me pests. 'Tweren't a tiny winged bloodsucker whining at me, but a tiny-footed one. Brother, I think the human's asking me a question. Think I ought to tell the tiny pest who I am? Ought I tell her I lost this horn in a scuffle with another ickle human? Maybe it was this one's brother. That pesky bugger might have got me all, but I've got something too. His wee head.
I'm overheating here.
You have come to her today, boss, and got the human, and it's itching like mad.
What?
You know damn well I didn't touch anything of yours with a 10-hand pole.
Soaked to the skin.
Look here! Look at you! How I admire one whose head is lodged so firmly upon their shoulders, like a spire that rests upon the breadth of its foundations, one and indivisible. Not I, alas. I fare not so, for I may replace my battered cranium as jauntily as a wizard may his hat. Just consider some of these examples here before me. How I admire this one's kingly brow, that one's exquisite jaw, yonder one's deep-set sockets that held a warrior's eyes. Why make a permanent choice? Why not cater to the occasion as called for? I would, but for the question, where does the soul reside? And so I ask, where are you, O ephemeral soul? If in a tooth you may be pulled, if in an arm you may be broken, where are you, O delicate monstrosity?
as have we all. Townsfolk would sit on these benches and talk about their day. Children would sprinkle water at one another and snigger. Now their mouths neither talk nor snigger any longer. And all that is sprinkled about is blood. Days pass me by no longer, only the dreams of what was, but can never be again. Surely you jest when you question this question's importance. Say I opt for that there fair-featured sovereign of a skull. What happens if another soul lies therein sequestered? If I play the part of the aforementioned wizard, and swap its rugged lineaments for the feeble ones that are my own, who shall I become? I. Yes. Who is I, then? Were I sure that the soul houses within the chest, within one's little toe for all I care, I would fret not so. But the certainty I long for remains as impossible to find as one specific raindrop in the rain. You, oh, I beg of you, have you not the answer?
You needn't worry. Unlike our heads and our bodies, it is we and our souls that are one and indivisible.
I concur. Pick a new skull if you want one. It's not going to change who you are in the least.
But of course, why was I so blind? The soul is not of the body, it is of the spirit. A new skull I shall have, but same person I'll remain. Oh, the agony of choice. I think I'll opt for the one with the kingly brow.
Walgraf smiles as he looks on, while the scout cherry-picks the perfect new skull. A friendly pat on the back tells you he approves of your kindly reassuring a dead man with
What
soul
a deluge.
Watching a talking skull choose a head is like watching a dog eat a backwards crab walk. Gives me the heebies.